The following opinions are solely those of BoatTest.com and its test captain.
Hi, Captain Steve for BoatTest.com, and today I'm going to do a sea trial and features inspection on the all-new VR5 from Bayliner.
This boat was designed to be a complete revamp of the affordable 185 bow rider no longer being offered. She provides more interior space, more length, more capacity, holds more fuel, and offers much more comfort. Let's start with a look at the interior. There's plenty of room at the bow to stretch out with the 45-inch long lounge seating. The whole bow area starts at 5 feet 8 inches wide, narrowing to 2 feet 9 inches fully forward. Two people facing each other may knock knees with 2 feet 1 inches between the seats, but that's rarely how people sit here. Rather than just add a backrest cushion, Bayliner wrapped the bolster around to the side, adding more comfort. Another pad forward allows for aft-facing seating. Moving to the cockpit, the port side seating is versatile. It goes from an aft-facing lounge to an aft-facing seat to a forward-facing seat, all with a seat and a half width. L-shaped seating completes the rest of the cockpit. The helm seat is a bucket style. It swivels and slides, plus includes a flip-up bolster. With the helm seat rotated around, the entire cockpit becomes a large social area. A base in the deck accommodates an optional cockpit table to complete the scenario. And safety is maintained with a cockpit depth of 33 inches at midships, dropping to 31 inches as we move aft. The aft sun lounge easily converts from a chaise to a standard sun pad. A walk-through to the swim platform is exposed by lifting the sun pad cushion and a hinged filler. A strap keeps it from falling against the cushion, and I'd be okay with that being removed, as now it has to be held open to walk through. We can also see an elevated level of fit and finish over the older 185. Multiple tones and textures of vinyl are used, where a single would be much easier, and we also see contrast stitching throughout. Non-skid fiberglass decking is standard. Options include either a snap-in carpet or this SeaDek rubber matting with a nice teak appearance. This also has the benefit of remaining cool to the touch on bare feet, even in direct sunlight. There's also an option to extend the SeaDek out to the swim platform, and I think it really adds to the look of the VR5. The walk-through windshield has a black anodized frame, and I like the look of how the sides are left exposed, but side wings are available as an option. And look at this! Bayliner answered a customer feedback issue by channeling water away from the bow cover and directing it over the side. The optional tower is from Extreme, and it's an exclusive design for the VR series. It's collapsible, provides an elevated tow point, and comes with a support for the bimini top. Externally, the VR5 really shines, literally. The gel work was exceptional and had a mirror finish. Looking at storage, the bow has plenty of it under each seat, and notice how the openings are wide to allow for more access. Under the port console, there's enough storage to accommodate our big safety gear bag. Just above, the top of the console is recessed and rubberized for holding your stuff, plus there's a deep glove box. Of course, there's the usual storage underneath the cockpit seats. The index storage is accessed from a lift and lock latch. The hatch is held open with a gas strut, and a gasket surrounds the opening. The interior is roomy, but what I notice is that it's all finished. This is a benefit of the no-wood construction. The wood stringers of the past are gone. Moving aft, there's self-draining wet storage at the walk-through to the swim platform. Moving on to operations, the engine hatch has a turn and lock latch, and there's a slight forward curve to the lower lip, so the seat cushion needs to come forward just a bit to allow for the hatch to open. Inside is a snug installation for the 4.5-liter 200 horsepower engine. Downgrade to 135 horsepower 3-liter or trade up to a 220 horsepower 4.3-liter. All wiring is well supported. The aft storage has limited interior space because of the battery and power steering pump, but that's on hull number 1. Bayliner tells us that these will be moved along to the other side of this divider on future models. The helm has gotten a bit of an overhaul and looks much more elegant. A central pod has a faux carbon fiber look and angled size that all houses the black-faced analog gauges that complement the gray panel nicely. A trim gauge is center and above, more on that later. An optional depth gauge is below. The standard stereo is just to the side. I like that there's a recessed area for something like a cell phone, and it's got a rubberized surface. Plus, it's finally angled down as it should be. Bayliner even added an MP3 port to one side and an accessory plug to the other. Now, we can use the drink holder for actually holding drinks. Toggle switches are to both sides and lighted when activated. The wheel is mounted to a tilt base, and I found it pretty comfortable to drive with it all the way up. And lastly, Bayliner included 6 cleats, 3 to each side, making for convenient tie-ups at the dock. Now let's get underway and see how she performs. Our Bayliner VR5 had a length overall of 20 feet 4 inches, a beam of 8 feet, and a draft of 2 feet 10 inches. We had the standard 200 horsepower 4.5 liter Merc Cruiser engine turning in alpha drive powering our test boat, and with it we reached a top speed of 45.5 miles per hour at 5,000 RPM. At that speed, we were burning 15.25 gallons per hour for a range of 89 miles. Best economy seemed to be at 3,000 RPM at 26.3 miles per hour. That speed lowered the fuel burn to 5.75 gallons per hour, increasing the range to 136 miles, all while still holding back a 10% reserve. We reached planing speed in 1.8 seconds, accelerated to 20 miles per hour in 5.8 seconds, and 30 in 8.2. And what a great boat to drive. She handles real well and is very responsive to the helm. Moreover, there was no ventilation of the prop with our aggressive handling, and high-speed turns showed some chine walk, easily mitigated by easing off the heavy-handedness. She rode through our self-generated chop with no pounding and minimal spray. Basically, we were already convinced that this was a great boat with her interior comfort level, but the ride drove the point home. Couple of things though. There are 3-inch wide cap rails to serve as armrests, but my elbow kept hitting the mount for the tower. Plus, the windshield frame was right in my line of sight, both at idle and at cruise. With the VR5, comfort and handling come together, and those that want to get an 18-foot boat will get 18 feet of space with her length overall at just over 20 feet. The extra being the swim platform, but it's still priced at the level of an 18-foot boat. Actually, feature for feature, it's less than the current 185.
That is my sea trial and features inspection of the VR5 from Bayliner. For BoatTest.com, I'm Captain Steve. We'll see you on the water.